Good morning, and welcome to Northern Light Spiritual Center. My name is Reverend Vaughn Amari, and I am here with Reverend Michael Amari, and I am here with the founding minister, Reverend Pamela Graysgate. Northern Light Spiritual Center is a community of people dedicated to using spiritual and practical principles to create lives we want to live. Northern Light Spiritual Center offers practical and spiritual tools to make positive changes where? In our lives. And our promise is to reveal, inspire, uplift, celebrate, and magnify your greatness. We acknowledge our presence here on the traditional and unceded lands of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish and Coastal Salish peoples. These people are still here, and we join with them in how they continue to honor and bring to light their ancient heritage. We seek to resist the erasure of Indigenous histories as we work towards honoring and inviting the truth. We also acknowledge that so much of what we know in this country today, including its culture, economic growth, and development throughout history and across time, has been made possible by the labor of enslaved Africans and their ascendants, who suffered the horrors of transatlantic trafficking of their people, chattel slavery, and Jim Crow. We also name the Asian and Chicano people who toiled with little recognition. We are indebted to their labor and their sacrifice, and we acknowledge the tremors of that violence throughout the generations and the resulting impacts that can still be felt and witnessed today. If you care to, please join me for our opening song, In This Very Room, by Ron and Carol Harris. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For Spirit, sweet Spirit, is in this very room. In this very room.
Good morning, all.
Good morning. Good morning.
So let us prepare for this morning's meditation by allowing ourselves to get comfortable in our seats. Oh yeah, that feels good. Removing everything from our laps, having our feet firmly planted on the floor, hands in an open and upright position. And if it serves you, allowing your eyes to close. And let us take 3 deep cleansing breaths in and out together. So let's breathe in. And let it go. Breathe in again. And let it go. And one more time, in. And let it go. And just allowing your body to relax, to release and to let go. Just letting go of everything that's happened from this up to this moment, and any anticipation of what will happen from this moment on. Just being in the let go. in the surrender, in the release. And so what I'd like you to do is to call to mind any situation that you might be grappling with. It might be a financial situation. It might be a health opportunity. It might be a personality that you're dealing with. You might want to buy a new house, a new car. You might be wanting to start a business, write a book. Whatever it is, bring that to mind. And so now that we have whatever it is in mind, now see what you would like the outcome to be. Perhaps more money. Perhaps a new relationship. Perhaps closer relationship with the spirit within. Perhaps it's living in that new house, driving that new car. Whatever it is, see it already done. Letting go of the darkness, letting go of the what if, letting go of the how. Just being in the brilliant light of it already done. See a healthy prognosis. See tons of money in the bank. See yourself swimming in that pool that you might desire. Whatever it is, see it right now. That wonderful outcome. No matter how dark it may look or how dark it might feel, allow light to shine upon it and see this brilliant, wonderful outcome. Now that you see it, let's intensify it 10 times. Make it more brilliant. Make it brighter. Now that you have it, it's brilliant, it's bright. Make it even more and more and more brilliant. Make it even brighter. Expand it. See it. Feel it. With every sense in your body, just encompass it. Intensify. How does it feel? How does it look? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? Just allow it to be intense, to be wonderful. And so now anchor this wonderful experience, this wonderful feeling, knowing that it's already done. Surrendering the how, surrendering the when, surrendering everything about it to the spirit within. Knowing that spirit has it handled. Knowing that you listen to spirit's guidance and do what you're being guided to do. Knowing it's done. Giving thanks for this as we allow it to be. And so it is. So this morning's reading is entitled 10 Important Lessons I Learned from the Darkness of Life and How They Helped Me Find the Light Within Myself. And that's by Angelica Moore. And it starts. I am no scientist, but I've been studying life for the past 19 years. And after all the research I've done, there's still a million questions I have yet to answer. After spending a whole life researching the dark side of life, I have come to the conclusion that no matter how dark it gets, there is always a way to get away from the darkness, as long as you are willing to do what it takes. It's called taking responsibility for your own life. The older I get, the more I realize that I am the only one responsible for my own happiness. It's said the good and the bad are both parts of the same coin, and that together they make a whole. Growing up as a young girl in a grown-up world where dealing with anxiety and depression was part of my reality, I had to learn how to survive through the less glorious times in life. Keeping a diary was a way for me to put my thoughts in order and to see things from both sides. All of the lessons I learned from life and the thoughts and emotions that came with the teachings were kept in this small diary of mine. As I was writing, I found myself not only reflecting over what I was feeling or why, but what I could learn from it, and how I could use what I had learned to stay out of trouble. Trouble to me, including holding on to the bad memories. It meant worrying about things I could not change, to please everyone around me, to blame everyone else, and spend all day running away from the reality I refused to face. Through writing and reflection over my thoughts and emotions, I eventually realized that all my problems stemmed from one thing: my own self. I realized that everything that was drowning me and all that kept me down was done with my own bare hands. But I got out of it stronger at the other end. Trust me when I tell you, I still have a tendency of digging my way deep into dark, but down below are some outtakes from my diary, some notes to self that continuously helps me with digging my way out again. These are lessons I've learned over the past few years, but with that being said, I still find myself having to go back to the list and remind myself of what I already know. Because even though I know these things, I'm still learning and struggling to fully understand and integrate them. And there's a quote: "Know that I am no expert on life, neither do I claim to be one, and that everything I write is based on personal experience." So the first one is, there's power in letting go. If you refuse to let go of the darkness will refuse to let go of you. Separate what's part what's part of your history and what's part of your destiny, then leave nothing behind except everything that prevents you from growing. The next one, knowing what's inside your circle of control. According to the Stoics, the circle of control contains this one thing, our mind. We can't always control what happens in our lives, but we can control how we handle whatever it is we're being faced with. Focus on your thoughts rather than trying to escape what's outside your circle of control. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The next, embrace your darkness. It's not about learning how to conquer the dark. It's all about learning how to embrace it. The dark is not your enemy. It isn't there to fight you, to hurt you, or to break you down. It is here to help you learn, to help you grow, and to reach your full potential. Consider it a friend and find peace in your pain. When you embrace your darkness can no longer control you. The next one, allow yourself to fall apart. Ooh, there we go. Falling apart doesn't mean you failed. I believe the strongest hearts are the ones who break the most. But being strong doesn't mean you're not allowed to break. True strength comes from the ability of gluing your pieces back together again. Suppressing negative emotions won't make them go away. They stay until you're ready to deal with them. Sometimes letting yourself fall apart is what's necessary to rise and shine again. The next one, always put your own needs first. Ooh. When you care about a person, it's easy to forget to put your own needs first, especially if you're someone who's scared of losing those you love, because you've lost so many times before. What I realize is that no one who is worth your time will be expecting you to spend all your time on them. You should always be your own first priority, because only when you are happy with yourself can you truly be happy with someone else. The next one, stop with the why me. And it comes usually with a whiny voice.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that everything that happens for a reason. But sometimes being faced with certain emotions can feel like a slap in the face from life. If you're like me, you've probably been asking why. Why does life hate me? Why me? I asked the universe a million times. Eventually, I started asking other questions like, what can I learn from this? And how can it help me grow into the person I'm destined to become? I consider the darkness a teacher who could teach me what happiness really is about. The next one, the end is the birth of a new beginning. Just because it's time for something to come to an end, it doesn't mean it's the end of all things and all times. When a chapter ends, another one begins. Look for options and other possibilities, and know that as long as you are alive, your story will continue to write itself. But remember that you're in charge of how your story ends. Use your pen wisely and never give it to someone else. I'm going to say that part, and never give it to someone else. Next one, accept where you are right now. There's no arguing with the universe that things don't always go the way we want them to. Retrain your mind to accept life the way it looks like right now instead of running away from it. Understand that everything that happens is part of the process, a part of your progress. You'll get there eventually. The place you've always dreamed to be. But for right now, at this moment, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Find peace in being present and fall in love with the process. Every single part of it. The next one, trust your path. I've always been told, don't look back. You're not going that way. But the path behind me is a proof, a reminder of how far we've come. By only looking forward, everything seems so distant and so far away, like you'll never reach your destination. By looking backward, you'll see that what you once was looking forward to has been past, or it's right in front of you. Maybe you're even there right now, right where you once dreamed you'd be. Trust that there is, no matter how dark it seems, you're on the right path and it's going someplace amazing. And the next one, never underestimate yourself. Time won't heal your wounds, but you will heal your wounds with time. Believe the fact that nothing that happens would happen unless you were strong enough to handle it. Healing your own wounds by telling yourself the things you think you need to hear from others. Remind yourself of how strong you are. Know that you'll get through it. And remember that no matter what, no one can ever take away your wisdom. And so it is.
So it is. Okay, this month's chant, and I did figure out the shines. There's light along with shadows. There's light along with dark. What's right calls me to follow. My light, it leaves my mark. I shine the light I'm made of. I seek the truth inside. I brighten all that life gave. I speak my truth with pride. I am light. I am bright. I am life. I shine. I shine. I shine. I shine. I shine. So please join me as you feel comfortable, or just be sung too, whichever you prefer. And then we go from I shine to you shine to we shine, back to I shine. There's light along with shadow. There's light along with dark. What's right calls me to follow. My light, it leaves my mark. I shine the light I'm made of. I seek the truth inside. I brighten all that light gave. I seek my truth with pride. I am light. I am bright, I am life, I shine, I shine, I shine, I shine, I shine. I am light, I am bright, I am life, I shine, I shine, I shine, I shine, I shine. There's light along with shadow. There's light along with dark. What's right calls you to follow. Your light, it leaves your mark. You shine the light you're made of. You seek the truth inside. You brighten all that light gave. Seek your truth with pride. You are light, you are bright, you are light, you shine, you shine, you shine, you shine, you shine. You are light, you are bright, you are light, you shine, you shine, you shine, you shine.
you shine.
Now up to we.
There's light along with shadow. There's light along with dark. What's right calls us to follow. Our light, it leaves our mark. We shine the light we're made of. We seek the truth inside. We brighten all that life gave. We speak our truth with pride. We are light, we are bright, we are light, we shine, we shine, we shine, we shine, we shine. We are light, we are bright, we are light, we shine, we shine, we shine, we shine, we shine.
Now it's back to I and really feel it.
There's light along with shadow. There's light along with dark. What's right calls me to follow. My light, it leaves my mark. I shine the light I'm made of. I seek the truth inside. I brighten all that life gave. I seek my truth with pride. I am light, I am bright, I am light, I shine, I shine, I shine, I shine, I shine. I am light, I am bright, I am light, I shine, I shine, I shine, I shine, I shine.
Thank you for playing along.
Oh. Yes, that's me. There she is.
Oh, I see. It's on first.
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and cry. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around the cloud to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? Don't tell me not to live, just sit and cry. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around the clouds or rain on my parade.
Zoom. It's so good to see you, Aisha and Aisha. Hi, Felicia May, my sister. So good to see you. I love that song. I first heard that song a little while ago when I was in undergrad.
A couple years ago?
I loved it. It just sort of encapsulated the exuberance I had for what's next. Because I knew I'd grown up in my mother's house. Yeah. And I was going to be free. I was going to be set loose on the world. I was so excited. And I love this version of it because she is just an amazing singer. She's an amazing bright light. She is not afraid to be who she is. She is out there. Whatever it was that told her she couldn't, she moved past it and exceeded it. I just love it. And I love it because she's an example for us. I am sure that I have been told or given 2,000 minimum no's. No, you can't. No, you won't. No, you'll never. No, you're not the right fit. You're not the no. No, 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 no. I didn't even try to count them. I just went over some of the significant ones in my mind when I was writing this talk. And I thought, and here's the thing about all my no's that I received. I'm not special. I know that everybody in this room and on Zoom and beyond has had the same no's. I don't know how many thousands, but we get them no matter what. And the question was, do we let our light shine? Do we follow our light anyway? Do we find a way to turn those no's into yeses? My most memorable example, I have so many no's I could choose from. But my favorite was when I became a consultant. I worked for companies for years, and approximately 30 years ago, I decided to become a consultant. And when I told my colleague that that's what I was going to do, she laughed in my face. She said, oh, Pamela, don't you know that only 15% of the population thinks like you do? And I did know that. She knew my personality surveys, and I was in the group that was very small. And I said, yes, I know, but what I didn't tell her was I felt that that was my edge. Only 15% of the population saw what I saw. So as a consultant, I could come in, look, and see stuff the person who hired me didn't see. So I figured it was a competitive edge. Everybody thought like I did. Why would they call me to consult? So we get these no's. No, you can't. No, you can't. And what happens is we're these wonderful lights. We're born in light, through light, as light. And then as we come into this world, we get these smudges. Think about a mirror. You're this mirror of light, and life just kind of smudges you over with stuff until you can no longer reflect through the mirror the light that you are. You're all covered up. That's not good. You know, twinkle, twinkle, I think, what's the title? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. That's my title. You know, we can't twinkle through the muck. So we have to do something around erasing that muck. First and foremost, we have to realize that we are a light. We actually are, regardless of what's covering us up, or what we're allowing to covering us up. And those coverings can be what we hear, what we learn, what we experience, what we think. Stephanie mentioned it in her reading today. What we think is part of what covers up our light. When we buy the no's. No, I can't do this. No, I can't do that. I tell you, the world is full of no's. I think that's all it knows is no's. I am, however, reminded of when John F. Kennedy said, "We're going to the moon, make it so." There were no no's. We're going. Y'all figure it out. And they did. They got to, so they did. So we need to uncover and wipe off the smears on our light. So not as long ago as when I heard this song, I was in graduate school, and I met a man called Joe. And Joe was the Joe of the Johari window. Anybody heard of that besides Vaughn? Vaughn's a child psychologist. He does all of these mental models. Well, Joe and Harry designed this model, this way of thinking and being, or how it is in the world in this particular model. Models do all kinds of things, but in this one, he said, so think of a square, and then divide the square into fours. And in one part of the square for yourself is what you know. So one square is, I know this about me and nobody else does, but I know this. Then there's this other square where we know it. You know it and I know it. We all know I'm wearing red glasses. I know it, you know it. It's not a surprise. We both know that. Then there's the square where you know it, but I don't. You might know, for example, that my slip is hanging, but since I'm not wearing one, it isn't. But if I were, you might know it's hanging and I might not. So there may be information about me that you have observed, that you remember, that you notice, that I don't know anything about until you tell me, or until I listen to you tell me. Then there's the unknown. I don't know, you don't know, nobody knows. According to Joe and Harry, in the Johari window, you find out about the unknown. You could find out about it through therapists. You can find out about it through digging into your own motivations. I don't know why I did that, but I'm going to think about that. I'm going to sit into that and see what comes to me. So this is the unconscious, meaning that it is not in the front of our minds. And it surfaces when we take the time to be with it. And sometimes we need help. So according to Johari on the Johari window, the objective was to reduce the what I know that you don't know. And they said, you do that through disclosure. So you tell what's going on, and then other people know more about you. Also, that second window where they know and you don't know,
Disclosure.
well, you can ask for feedback. Oh, God help us. I'm a trainer. All we do is ask for feedback. I have had more feedback than I ever wanted to have, but the feedback is a teach. So you can expand the you know and I don't know by finding out what you know or what they know. Okay, so this is getting a little confusing, right? So the point about this Johari window is we run from the information that could help us. That information would help us take some of the smudge off the mirror and allow us to shine our light. Allow us to be more of who we are. Allow us to make choices. We may get some feedback that says, you can't be a consultant. And we may say, yes, I can, but tell me why I can't. And then they give you this list. And it was funny, this really happened when I decided to be a consultant. I started asking people why and what it was like, because the company I worked for had a lot of consultants. I was in human resources and they came through human resources. So I asked them, what's it like to be a consultant? I want to be a consultant. They said, oh, no, you don't. You don't want to be a consultant because So I wrote all the becauses down. And one of the becauses was, well, you'll work a lot by yourself. I was like, oh, throw me in that brown patch. I have to be by myself. I don't have to deal with these teams and these, I like working by myself. I still do, 30 years later. So I took that list and I said, okay, I can fix this way and that and this. And even with the working by myself, over the years, I went to Starbucks with my laptop. And that way I have people around me. And sometimes I talk to the PSE man and the whoever. And that's when I knew it was time for me to get out of the house and go to Starbucks, be around people. But so I took the list and I worked it so that it would benefit me when I went out on my own, which I did do. So getting feedback can be a little painful. It can even be discouraging. But it is not the all of the situation. It does expand those boxes like Johari, in the Johari window. It expands me from what you know that I don't know to now I know more of it. And in the process of sharing what I'm thinking, I expand the you and I know, which helps the other side give you even more information. So I learned to appreciate feedback. Now, one of the things about the Johari window as I looked at it over the years is, so I know this and you know that. And we think we know the truth. We don't know the truth. Actually, there's not really the truth. There is no the truth. We're always working with the truth. So if I get information from you that you say, this is the truth, Pamela, not necessarily. And what's even more important is taking a look at the square we have in our heads around what we think is the truth, which is beliefs and experiences we've developed through our lives that we say, okay, this is it, this is how it is. We need to question our truths all the time. I loved, we read Ralph Waldo Emerson when I was in ministerial school and in practitioner training and all that. And he became my favorite of all of the books I read around spirituality and thinking and what have you, because he said, yeah, I told you all of this, but don't believe me either. You find out for yourself. Don't take anybody's word for it. Don't swallow nothing whole. Question it. Look at it. And see, does this work for me? Does this fit in my life? Is this going to present me the outcome I want to have? If it does, good. Flow with it. If it isn't, then don't. Find your own teacher. Your best teacher is within you, but we do benefit from other folks' opinions and information. For example, I have a posse. I have always had a posse. And when my posse moves away, disappears, things happen, I replace my posse. And in my posse is the person who will tell me the bald truth. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm really careful about who I pick to tell me the bald truth. Yeah, some of you are laughing. You know what I'm saying. I need someone who can tell me the bald truth in a way that I can hear it. I have a best friend that I grew up with that I've known since junior high, who lives on the East Coast. She can tell me anything, and she can tell me baldly, but we have an understanding that we tell each other these truths with love. So when she tells me something, I'm like, how dare she say that to me? I'm like, oh, really? Ooh, I need to consider that. Because I know where she's coming from. And we've been that way for each other, and we're considerate. I've delivered the bald truth to her, and she's accepted it. But when it's bald, I'm still a little careful about how I say it. I don't say, well, girl, you stupid, why are you doing that? I would never do that. But I will say, girl, have you thought about the impact of that on them? There could be another way to do that. And she'll hear me. So I have a bald truth person, and I had my favorite, it's all good, you're wonderful, I don't care what they say person, moved to Italy.
Oh.
And so I can't call her, I can't text her or email her, but she's got a life in Italy. So I lost my favorite Pamela, you're wonderful, I don't care what they say person. But I have replaced them. I have a couple of folks that'll tell me, no matter what, no, boo, you're good. Yes, you have a little smudge over there, but overall, you're a wonderful person. And when I need to hear that, I'll call them and I'll tell them, okay, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I'm gonna eat some worms, help.
Yeah.
And they'll say, you don't need to eat no worms, honey. You're good. And various other members of the posse. I have professional posse members. I need help in HR or on a consulting thing, or I need someone to say, it's a beautiful painting, no matter what it looks like. We need our posses. And we need to be intentional about how we choose our posses. Who are the people that actually care about us and want to help us? And then what skills do they have that can do that? Like my bald truth person can tell the bald truth without hurting my feelings. I have another friend who tells the bald truth and stomps all over my feelings, and frankly, I'm removing her from friends list. Yes, I am. I am doing that. I am making that decision. This is not my friend. It's not my friend. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't have the time to deal with it. Life is short and then you die. Not my friend. So we need our posses. So going back to your twinkling. I was teasing the guys because my sister and I are in a challenge. My sister is winning.
Oh.
To change how we dress. So this is what I did. So I would never mix patterns. You guys can't see the skirt on Zoom. I would never mix patterns, and my sister says, yeah, when we were little, she used to wear whatever she wanted to wear. And I would say, you can't go out of the house in that. It was like, why? And I said, because that doesn't match that. It all has to matchy. So now I've set her free. And she doesn't matchy, and she's putting some lovely things together. She's just the cutest thing ever. So I'm sort of following in her way. So the point about this is to break out of the norm. Looking at that singer, she had on this gold lame dress with that great big floof at the end, and gold eyeshadow, and earrings and nose rings and rings and fingernails painted different colors. Girlfriend was out there. I probably won't move to that level of self-expression, but you never know. You never know. So in letting our light shine, here's the good news. If we just pick a little spot where we let it shine, like Reba's blue dress with a purple purse. Thank you very much. I love purple. Love the purple purse. So just a little spot where she broke out. She didn't have to do a matchy blue purse. If we start to break out in little ways, what we do over here kind of spreads. Yeah, I'm seeing a head shake back there, to what we do over here. To what we do over here. When I was in corporate, we taught how to be creative. And we taught creatively how to be creative. And we knew that by the process, this would open, and this was mainly the scientists and the engineers. We knew that as we did what we did, it would break them out of, this is the way to do it. And they would get more creative. One of my favorite things there was when we were doing problem solving and they were like, well, it's just not working and we've been working on it for months and it just isn't working. And so we'd have them brainstorm a list of famous people, and then we would say, okay, what would this famous person do? And my favorite one was Madonna.
Ah.
So here you are in this technical organization with these mechanical, whatever issues, and we would say, well, what would Madonna do? Well, that was fun. I won't go into all the ideas they came up with, but it was fun and it broke them out of their mindset and they became far more creative. It was fun. So, breaking out of the mindset, having some faith in the creative process that you have in you, that you know the answer somewhere. Because not only do you have a posse in this realm, you have a posse beyond this realm. There is energy, intelligence all around us. And all we have to do is tap into it, unleash it, and let it flow through us and out into the world. And have faith that what we're doing is okay. It's needed in the world in so many ways. And it doesn't have to be a big highfalutin save the world kind of a thing. It can be just one little shift. You know how if you come home and you park in a different place, everybody around you has to park in a different place? Jeffrey's like, yeah, because they're there, so now you have to do this. And it just affects everything. So I'm not suggesting you go home and park in a different place to upset the neighborhood. But I am saying that one little shift, just one little shift impacts everybody else. One last example of that. When I was in California, I had a particular style of dressing. And I was taking a woman home from choir rehearsal, and she looked at me and she said, "You just dress all kinds of ways." I didn't. I actually did matchy-matchy, but for her, it was very out there. And she said, just who do you think you are? Yeah, she did. I said, well.
I'm the person giving you a ride home.
Amen.
I was the person giving her a ride. Good point, Jeffrey. Good point.
You want a ride?
But I was kind of caught by surprise, so I didn't come up with such a pithy answer. I like that. Oh, anyway, so I told her, I said, I'm an artist, and my body is a canvas. And so that's why I dress the way I do. I'm walking art. Well, about a month later when I gave her a ride home, she said, "Do you notice my earrings and my necklace?" And I said, "Yeah, they're very nice." She said, "I'm seeing myself now more as a canvas."
Oh.
So she was breaking out a little. And I thought, well, that's good. And I was still the person giving her a ride.
Now she appreciated it.
Yeah, she did. She did. She took what I said, she thought about it, and she shifted how she thought. So, we never know what kind of an impact we're having in the world. The world is always watching. It's listening. It's even taking notes. I could tell you stories. How many times somebody was watching and I didn't know they were watching, and what they were learning from what they were watching. Like, I'm going to park somewhere else. So you can't see me walk into work. We're always having impact. And one of the ways we can have impact is living our lives fully. Living into our dreams, not accepting all the no's. There may be a no or two that we have to say, well, I'm probably not going to be a famous basketball player at this point in my life, at 5, 6, and over 21. Probably not going to happen. But there's other things that I can be to express who I am, to express my passion. And again, as we live fully into our lives, we invite, encourage, and inspire others to live into theirs. I don't care how old we are, where we live, or who we are, or what we came from. We are always having impact on others and ourselves. So, most importantly, remember that you have a posse. And if you don't have a posse, then develop one. And you've always got the big posse in the sky. You always got that posse. And that posse is all around us. We've always got a universe that's listening and waiting to say yes. Yes, 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 yes. Also remember that a lot of the stuff that gets in our way is over here in the square up here that says I know. And the I knows have gotten in our way. So we can just increase that I know and say, well, the one thing I know is that somehow or another I'm going to work my way through this. Somewhere in here there's good. I just have to find it. Might need a little help finding it. Maybe. But expanding the I know, being brave enough to open up, to listen behind and beneath the no's till you get to the yes. So posse, you're in control. And finally, don't let nobody rain on your parade. And so it is.
So it is.
Go ahead.
Thank you for watching this video, and please join us next week when Reverend Bonamari will be speaking here at Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living in Burien. So thank you and blessings on your journey.